This episode of Techzilla is brought to you by the 2012 Ford Mustang.
The Kindle Fire is Amazon's latest attempt at challenging Apple's iPad and App Store dominance. And here to give us her take on this Amazon-branded tablet is Revision 3's very own Stephanie Chu. Hello, thank you for joining us on our set today.
Hey, no problem.
So what made you decide to pick up the Fire?
There were two things that made me pick up the Fire, and one was the price point. I mean, we know that this is $199, and I think that's the perfect price point that's going to get this tablet into the households. And it's less risky than spending hundreds of dollars more, like for, say, the iPad 2. And the second reason why I chose the Fire is because I'm a huge Amazon.com user.
Yeah.
And so all of my ebooks, my music, my television shows and movies are all right there on Amazon, and I knew that when I got my device, it would already be preloaded with all of my stuff. So
I'm
cool.
looking at all your embarrassing magazine subscriptions
and
video content that you've got on here. Actually, you've got pretty good stuff on here. So they've got the apps, they've got some apps in there, like you mentioned, Netflix.
Yeah,
Was that one of the apps?
I use Netflix a lot to watch my videos, but also Amazon.com video because I'm a Prime subscriber. So with Prime, you get free streaming of a big collection of media. So.
And it's got Angry Birds.
Yeah, well, I asked a bunch of my online friends, like, well, what should I install first? And everyone says, of course, Angry Birds.
So how does it compare to having an iPad? And I also know that you have the Kindle 3rd generation as well. Do you need a Fire if you have both of those devices already?
Well, I got the Fire because I didn't want to carry around so many devices. The iPad is nice. It's got a lot of apps on it, great games, but this one is a lot more personal to me. I feel like this is not going to be a shared device. This is just going to be for me. Like, I share my iPad with my fiance, I share my iPad with my coworkers, and this one's just very personal. It has my stuff, and I don't really want other people tinkering with it, except for you.
Except for me.
Since you've got it in your hands.
So this is my first time really looking at it and getting a hands-on. And how is it for reading? Because I know that's probably one of the biggest things that people are looking for when they pick up a Fire, for example, because they do expect it to also be a reading device. How does it compare to having the old school Kindle?
Okay, so I should say, like, I've had this Kindle for a few days. I got it on the 17th, and I've been trying really, really hard to spend a lot of time with it and reading 4 hours on it. I cannot read for hours on it.
No.
And it might be because I'm used to the e-ink. With the old Kindle, I could just read for hours, and it emulates paper really well, but this one is actually emitting light into your eyes, and even though you see that the text can be transformed with light text on a dark background to make it easier for night reading, it's still
not quite
putting
enough.
a little strain on your eye. And so I found that I capped out at about 45 minutes of reading before my eyes felt a little tired. Maybe I can train myself up a little bit more, but right now I haven't given away my old Kindle yet.
Really, it's the convenience of having all your different types of media and that integration with the Amazon store that makes it kind of a killer device for you.
Yeah, when I'm not reading, I can easily switch over to reading the news on Pulse or checking out my notes on Evernote. And those things, it's nice having it on one device, and one that's small enough to, it's smaller than the iPad, and I actually really like that. Bigger is not always better depending on what you're trying to use the device for.
I was just going to say, it feels really nice to hold. Like, it's definitely a much more holdable device than the iPad in a lot of ways.
Yeah, I was joking that it fits in dude pockets, not
dude pockets, cargo pockets, cargo pants.
Not the lady pockets, but it's small enough to fit in your purse. It's it has some weight to it, but it feels solid. It doesn't feel like it's going to break.
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Fire, but is there anything that you didn't love about it?
Right. As much as I love the device, I do have a couple nitpicks. First being the volume button, or actually the lack thereof.
Yeah, I was going to say, where is the volume button?
To get to the volume, you've got to actually activate the settings within the Kindle.
All right,
and it's up at that corner. And then you have to go to the volume, and then you can slide that up and down.
Slider.
Right. But if you're in the middle of watching a movie and it's like super loud, you just want to press the button to lower the volume, and you can't do that. You actually have to take that extra step, and it slows you down. It's inconvenient. And then also, this is probably typical of most devices, but when you're watching TV on the Kindle, the speaker's only on one side. So it just kind of sounds uneven. So in that case, I usually throw in some headphones.
Headphones seem to be the best solution to that kind of issue for sure.
Right.
These are meant to be headphone devices.
Yeah, true. And then lastly, I mean, this is not really a downfall of the Kindle, but you know, if you're an iOS user, you're gonna there's a slight learning curve in how to use this new UI.
Overall, would you say that this is a great gift for someone to buy for the holidays, or should they wait for the next generation?
I would say if they're already an Amazon.com user, like if they have a Prime subscription and they just already have a lot of content, then yes, it's a great gift. But you know, if they're new to Amazon, you might want to maybe wait and see how it goes. But it's best for people who are already Amazon users.
If you're a hardcore Amazon fangirl or fanboy, then this is a great device to have.
Right.
Thanks so much, Steph.
You're welcome.
What's going on in App Judgment these days?
Oh man, well, we're talking a lot about the fire, so you can check out that episode as well.
You have a review up?
Yeah, the review is up on App Judgment, appjudgment.com, or on our YouTube channel.
All right, thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, well, coming up next, we've got the best laptop picks with PC World's Jason Cross. But first, it's time to thank one of our sponsors.
The 2012 Ford Mustang is back in the hands of Tekzilla and me. We got it in-house this week, but this time we're going to build our own Ford Mustang from scratch. A few weeks ago we told you about Ford's Mustang Customizer. It is really fun. I recently went on to build my own. Check this out. I'm going to go over the top. I'm going to pretend I have the cash for it, get the Shelby GT 500. I'm more of a V6 kind of guy, and the V6 is stupid fast. Let's go to the color. What about orange, yellow, black? I'm sticking with the kind of blue action. Deck lid. Let's get something. Oh, I like the racing stripes, and the roof options are really killer. We got racing. I like the big old see-through roof on that one. And we got spoilers. You know, I'm going to keep it subtle on that one. Wheels, there are 22 options for wheels, and they just get more epic. And then we got the background we can slide through. We got the urban settings, the garage. I like the open space. And I gotta be honest with you, I want more burnouts. And you know what else I want? Smoke. I like the smoke, and check it out, people. There is every single element on this puppy. You should get in and build your own Mustang. Ford.com/cars/Mustang/customizer. See how it stacks up against mine, Veronica's, Robert's, and the rest of the internet. And hey, thanks to Ford and the 2012 Mustang for sponsoring this episode of Tekzilla.